The Yuen method relies upon an idea called physical intelligence. What is physical intelligence? Physical intelligence is a concept that Dr. Yuen himself created, or he coined a phrase to give a name to what he perceived and what he used to create the Yuen method. Physical intelligence is something that we all have. All living creatures have physical intelligence. Animals and humans all have this. But humans have disconnected themselves pretty significantly from their physical intelligence because we are too in our heads and we use too much of our mind to resolve our issues. Physical intelligence is something that you can see very easily in animals out in nature, more so than domesticated animals, because domesticated animals get affected by the mental thinking of their owners and just general humans. Animals in the wild, for example, I live in the Pacific Northwest, and I really love watching the squirrels outside in my backyard because they're so fast, they're so light and nimble and quick. We humans are kind of the opposite. We slow ourselves down by overly processing everything from a mental place. Physical intelligence can be seen just in how animals even eat and how they respond to their environment. So a squirrel, for example, they feel, they perceive, and they have intuition, and they can sense when a predator is coming. They know what to eat, when to eat it, and they know where to get what it is that they need to eat, right? Because they're physically tuned in. It's like when you have a gut feeling, when you feel like something is not right, that is physical intelligence. We think of it as just our intuition, but intuition is one component of our knowing. So our knowing or our insight is made up of feeling, perception, and intuition. So feeling does not mean emotions. Emotions are a different thing. Feeling means when you can feel something is right or wrong. For example, Dr. Yuen, when he was young and he's a kung fu or was a kung fu master, when he would be in competitions with his opponents, he could feel and sense where that opponent's weaknesses were in their body. He could feel, like, for example, okay, their left shoulder is weakened, so he would target those areas. So that's an example of feeling. So back to the animals, when they feel, they can feel what to eat when they're hungry, right? A squirrel does not sit there and say, oh man, I don't know. Should I not eat an acorn? Should I not eat a nut? Am I allergic? Do I have problems? Is that okay? My doctor told me, my friends are on this new diet. No, none of that. It's simple. They feel, they know. That's physical intelligence. A squirrel can bury tons of acorns. I think don't quote me on the facts here. I'm not a biologist, but I just remember seeing a documentary one. Squirrels can basically bury hundreds of acorns, and then 9 months or a year later, they can find every single one of them. Did they write it down? Did they take pictures and put it in their phone? No, they know because it's in their brain. It's in their brain, it's in their spinal cord, it's in their nerves, it's in their physical being. And this is where another aspect of distinguishing what physical intelligence is, if it's not the mind, it's your brain. Why does that matter? Because your brain is a physical part of your physical body. Your mind is not. Your mind and your brain are two separate things. Your mind is like your consciousness, your conscious mind, your subconscious, and your non-conscious. Those are the three elements. Again, all this is according to the Yuen method. Other people may have their different approach, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the Yuen method perception of how things work. So that's your consciousness. But your consciousness is not a physical part of yourself. Your brain is a physical part of yourself. It's part of your nervous system. Your nervous system is made up of your brain, your spinal cord, your nerves, your meninges, your spinal column, and also the spinal fluid that runs up and down your spinal cord. Those all make up your nervous system. The nervous system is essentially it's your biocomputer. So the nervous system connects to the body connects to the nervous system can connect to all that is going on in the universe, the universal intelligence. And we think of that as being this mystical, etheric idea, and it isn't really. It's intelligence and information. It's kind of like the internet of the universal intelligence is sort of, I think of it this way, as the internet of the universe, where there's all this information, true answers, not the distorted and discombobulated stuff we get on the actual internet. But it's this constant flow of information and answers that we can get access to if we remove our mind from the situation, activate our physical intelligence, which is operated by our nervous system computer. That computer can connect to that information. But to do that, we have to not be analyzing, thinking. We need to feel, we need to perceive, and we need to have intuition all fully turned on. Again, with the animals, they can feel exactly when a predator is coming. And do you see an animal say, "Ooh, I think they're coming. I'm not sure if they're coming. Maybe they come. I'm gonna stretch out just in case," right? You don't see an animal do a warm up before they move. They just move instantly because their physical intelligence knows what they have to do. That idea of warming, even having to warm up, if we were as a collective faster, more connected to our physical intelligence and not thinking so much, we would be much more like the animals. We wouldn't have to warm up for any kind of physical activity. We just go because it's already there. If you see children, that's what they do, right? They don't sit there and they run around and they play and they respond to what's going on second to second, minute to minute. And that's how animals are. So that's what physical intelligence is. It is our nervous system operating from a place of no mental thinking, no discussing, debating, pondering, actually feeling, intuiting, and perceiving what's going on and what needs to be done to resolve something. So anytime you've had that gut feeling of something not being right or something being the right choice, that's your physical intelligence. Especially, I mean, if you felt that and then it turned out to be correct, or it turned out to be the right move, that's your physical intelligence. Because the physical intelligence is, and this is another component in a whole other discussion, is neutral. It's not attached to any particular way of doing, being, or perceiving. It's not making any assumptions. It's being completely objective and just operating from a place of what needs to come next, what is going to solve an issue, or what is needed in a given moment. Thanks for tuning in. I am Colleen O'Connor, Yuen Method certified master practitioner. Stay strong.